there, phenoms and phenoms in the making. Welcome to Growing Forward with your host, Shay Daniels. That's right, your girl right here, Shay Daniels. So here we are, fourth video now on the channel. This video is all about answering this question. Let's go for it. The question is it too late? And the answer is no. It's never too late. Never too late to go after your dreams. Never too late to pursue your goals. You got to go for it. You got to own it. You got to never let it go. Hey, I just did that. You don't remember that song? All my Gen Xers. All right. So anyway, all jokes aside, very serious. You can make it happen, but it's going to have to require something of you. Here's the word. It's a 4-letter word that many of us don't like. Are you ready? Here we go. The word is work. It's going to require you to work. It's going to require you to do it. It's going to require you to go after it. You cannot sit back on your laurels. You cannot waste time. And it is now. Now is the time. You have to do it. I wanted to share with you a story, and it's a true story. The story is about me. Go figure. All right. So here's the story. Back in 2009, man, what year is it now? It's 2021. So back in 2009, I was working in social services back in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was sitting down with a good friend of mine at work, and I was letting him know how I've always had a passion for teaching and education, and I was thinking about pursuing a master's degree in education. And then the thought then came to mind, well, what would I do with that degree? Would I really go and try to teach in the classroom? And I had so many questions and so many reasons why I shouldn't do it. And one of those reasons why was my age. I thought that at the time in pursuing my master's degree in education, that by the time I got into the classroom, that I will be in my late 30s, early 40s, before I was even really getting seasoned as a teacher or in the classroom at all. And I was met with a big fat, so what? So what if you're in your 40s and you're just getting in the classroom? So what if you're older than the other teachers that are in the school? Well, I'm so very glad that I took the advice of that dear friend of mine and went ahead and pursued the goal. Now, let me tell you, the pursuit of that goal was not easy. It required going forward with the application process for a master's degree program, attending classes, and those classes were in addition to work that I was already doing. I was already working, as I mentioned, in social services. I was also serving at that time as the associate pastor of a church. And I was going to add to the mix of already working 2 positions, being a mother, being a wife. I was going to add to that pursuing after and going after a master's degree in education. So that pursuit of a master's degree in education meant that I was going to have to make changes in my schedule. It meant that I was going to have to rely on friends and family to assist me in areas that I needed help. It meant that I was going to have times that I didn't get the rest that I wanted or needed. It meant frustration. It meant extra time. It meant extra expenses, all of those things. And you know what? Even after all of that and getting in the middle of pursuing that master's degree during that period of time, my husband was downsized from his job with Chrysler because they had a big downsize and layoff. I remember that in the middle of pursuing that goal and that dream, I began to think about all the debt that was accruing, and the thought seriously came to mind to give up. Then the one thing that really shook me and really caused me to think if I should even go any further was this. I realized when I was just maybe another 6 classes away, and by then 3 years into this pursuit of my master's degree, because again, I was pursuing it on top of all the other things that I was doing. The realization that in the education profession, it's really not set up for those who are older students and already established in their lives with mortgages and children. It's really not set up to go back into the classroom for an internship or to do a student teacher, process. It was going to require that I would be there at a school for about 40 hours a week. Well, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do a 40-hour a week or a 30-hour a week internship for student teaching because I had bills to pay. And so in that moment, I seriously thought about giving up. And then after prayer and after actually a prophetic word that I received, believe it or not, and I'm sure she doesn't know this because, of course, I've never shared it with her. I don't even know this wonderful woman. But Patricia King, who is a woman of God, I believe her ministry is in Arizona. God gave her a word, and I was driving. I was doing a road trip with my mom and a friend of mine, my bestie. As a matter of fact, we were doing a road trip to Columbus. And during the road trip, there was a message that she gave. And she said, there is someone listening to this podcast, and they are thinking of no longer pursuing their degree. They're in a master's degree program, and they are contemplating giving up. And she said, God told me to tell you, don't give up because it's a part of your destiny. Don't give up because it's a part of your destiny. Well, I am so very glad that I heard that word, and I really and truly believe it was for me. What came about is the realization that with the degree that I was pursuing, I still could obtain the degree without getting the licensure and certification that I needed at the time in order to get into the classroom. Now, I will admit that left me feeling still pretty defeated. I wondered what in the world I was going to do with this master's degree. How would I use it? Well, at the time, I had no idea, none, that one day I would be moving down to Florida, and that in that process, an opportunity would come to teach in a classroom, and that with that process and years after that, the opportunity to get licensed here in the state of Florida. So if I would have given up, if I would have thought that it was too late, if I would not have had my ears open to hear the voice of God, I wouldn't be in the position that I am today, teaching third grade here in Central Florida with right now my temporary teaching certification and pursuing my full teaching certification. So don't give up. It's never too late. Some things I wrote down just to encourage you and to help you along the way. Some things you need to remember in this process of pursuing your dreams and recognizing that it's not too late. Understand that as long as you have breath in your body, you should go for it. As long as you have breath in your body, go for it. Do it. Try it. The thing is, you never know if you can do it unless you try. You have to try first. The other point I want to really emphasize, and I think I've mentioned this, be willing to put in the work. There are going to be days that are uncomfortable. There are going to be moments that are downright distasteful, times that you will want to throw in the towel. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep pursuing. You can do it. It's not too late. One last point. Believe. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can make it. Believe that you can succeed. Now, in saying believe in yourself, I'm very clear on this point. My belief in myself at times waned and wavered. But what never wavered, what never failed, was my belief in the one who called me to do what I'm doing. God. My belief in him and his love for me and his desire for me to go forward, his desire for me to succeed, to know that he was on my side, even when everything else seemed like it wasn't on my side, to know that he was with me and that through him I could do all things. Philippians 4:13, a very familiar verse, says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. or who strengthens me. There were days that I thought within my own strength, I couldn't go any further. And the truth of the matter is, in my own strength, I probably couldn't. But that was when the Holy Spirit would remind me of how his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So today, be encouraged. Understand that you absolutely can do this. It's not too late. Go after it. Pursue your dreams. You're going to make it.